Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. As I alluded to on Instagram, gonna do one of my worst Borneo shorttails today, one of my worst snakes in general. Probably won't be able to do a very long video because she's already getting mad just because I exist. And she bubbles up at the mouth when she gets angry, which she's already doing. This here is Ethyl, and she's a very old Borneo shorttail python. She's probably close to 20 years old. She is actually Charlie Murphy's mother. You can see her entire demeanor is completely different than most of the other snakes that we've dealt with. You can see she's in a very, very defensive position. You can see she's moving herself to adjust to my movement. Try to get close without making her strike here. You can see the bubbles coming out of her mouth. That is not from a respiratory infection. That is from a snake that is very agitated. And she gets herself so worked up. And literally all I did was take her out of her tub. I've got to clean her tub, so I bring her outside. It's a little bit easier for both of us. I've been working with her on teaching her how to shift herself out of the tub into a holding tub. And just on me, I haven't had a lot of time, so I have not done that as much lately as I need to. But she was picking it up pretty well. But you can see she's got her body all flailed around. You can see that big bubble on her face there. Like, she is so heated, and I'm not even that close to her. I have the extension on this right now, so I'm still a good 6 feet away. But she just absolutely hates my fucking guts. And we had an okay relationship for a while. And then about 2 years ago, she just decided that she's old and cranky and hates everything. And now for the last 2 years, this is how she's been. I can't touch her really at all. You know, not without eliciting a very serious response. You know, even if I come around to this side of her, you can see immediately she's turning, she's fired up, she's ready to go, and she will fire. She has no hesitation about striking. You can see that tail. Oh, she just stops, of course. But she's wagging that because she's agitated. She has it flattened out. She's trying to make herself appear larger. Anything she can do. I've tried a lot of things to kind of fix this relationship, and it just does not work. So basically at this point, it's let a snake be a snake. I'm gonna clean her cage up. I set everything up out here, bring her back inside. I give her like 10 minutes to kind of chill out, and then I'll go in and put her water in, and then I leave her alone until it's time to feed. She eats fine. She will take food off the tongs from me. But I have to be careful because if I get too close, she will take me instead. I want to try to let you see her face a little so you can see her eyes. Let me zoom in on this. You can see how big those pupils are. You can see the bubbles from her getting so mad. And that only happens when she's angry. If she's content, that doesn't happen. But she gets so mad and expels so much and hisses so much that she just really goes at it hard. Now, for some reason, she looks to me, if you look down near her tail, like she's a little underhydrated, which doesn't make any sense. She has water. But being an older animal, she's not very active, so she may have found a spot that she was just comfortable in or whatever. So we'll make sure when we put her water in today that we put it in close to her. You know, she does move just fine, but sometimes she's just weird. Want to get close, I'm zoomed in, but still you can see she's just so mad. But like I said, I bred her once. She's Charlie Murphy's mother. She's a very dark Borneo. She's kind of cool looking and ugly in a sense too, you know, but she's like so ugly that she throws cool babies. But yeah, you can just see the absolute hatred in that eye. You know, when their pupils are that big like that, and they're posturing, and you can see her taking heavy breaths. She's just totally different than all the other snakes. And to those of you that maybe this is the first video you've caught on the channel, this is not snakes. This is not how most of my snakes behave. She is the exception. I have one other Borneo that hates my guts, who's my ocelot male, but he doesn't stress himself out about it as much as she does. He just hates me, and he will sit there, he'll sit in the lawn like this next to me all day and not do a damn thing. But if I pick him up, that crosses the line of our relationship. Then he'll start thrashing, then he'll start biting. But he doesn't get himself upset. He just wants you to leave him the fuck alone and not touch him. She just gets herself upset. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, you can see that tail going again. I'm going to finish up cleaning her cage. We're going to get her set up to go back inside. That's a big ass spider. I don't know what kind of spider that is right there. It's like right next to that stick. Oh, there it goes. That's a big motherfucker. I don't do spiders, man. They freak me the fuck out. But, yeah. See, it's funny. I can get this close to her because it's not me. She just hates me. If I were to stick my hand towards her, she would fire a strike right at me. She has no interest in the phone because the phone's not me, so it's not really a threat to her. But I wish I could say that there's, you know, a way to work with an animal this age and get her back. And like I said, working on doing the transfer thing with her again, I got to put a little more time into that. That'll help ease our relationship a little bit. But yeah, she's just not a fan of me, and I don't think that's ever going to change now. I don't know what changed before. You know, like I said, our relationship was never great, but she used to tolerate me. And actually, Charlie Murphy's clutch was the only clutch ever that I wasn't home to pull. I had to have my friend pull it, and she lit him up to kingdom come. And she actually let him take her off the eggs and take the eggs. That wasn't the issue, but he decided to put her in a bag to hold her instead of a tub, and I warned him she didn't like bags. And when he tried to stick her in that bag, she came flying out of there and got him like 4 or 5 times in seconds. Made him bleed profusely. The only reason that I wasn't here, because I try to plan all my pairings, there's that tail again. I try to plan all my pairings so I will be here. The only reason I wasn't present when she laid her eggs was because she held on to them forever. Most of my girls hold on to their eggs for about, you know, average I would say is like 28 to 33 days. Normal for me is like 26 to 40. So I had to take a trip. Like 30 days, I figured she would go. And I made my trip to be after like day 50, so I would be covered. And I set my trip up. I was only gonna be gone for 3 days. Well, she waited till like day 51 or 52 to let those fuckers go. So I had somebody here watching her that wasn't a snake person, just to let me know when she started laying. I had him checking her twice a day. And then once I knew she was laying, I had my friend come over. Now, she laid 22 eggs. I would say about 10 of them were probably no good from the start. They were duds. They look like perfect eggs, but when you candle them, there's no veins or anything. It's just, you know, people call them different names, but they're bright and yellow inside. And so they were no good. But he wasn't comfortable separating the clutch, so they were all stuck together. So as stuff went bad, it made other eggs go bad. I ended up having 5 babies hatch out of those 22 eggs. And it's the only short-tail clutch I've ever had that had issues. Most of my short-tail clutches, I get 100% hatch. That was the only one I've had issues with. And like I said, I wasn't here to handle it properly. The amount of time she had it in her body, there was a lot of things that were just off. Also, it was the first time she was bred, and at that time, we believe she was about 17 years old. So she was up there for a first breeding, but she was in good shape then. She's still in okay shape now, but she's not where I would breed her unless she put on a significant amount of weight and, you know, got a little bit better attitude, because I wouldn't want to put her through the rigors when she's already kind of a high stress animal. You can see she's calmed down a little bit out here. She's letting me be a little bit closer. She's not as agitated. She's still agitated, but she's not agitated to the same level. Jesus, that's another big spider. Fuck me. And then, so 5 eggs hatched. 2 babies were tiny. 1 failed to thrive. 1 my friend has locally that's now, you know, 3 years old and change. He looks fantastic. I kept Charlie Murphy, and then I sold the other 2 surviving offspring to a guy and his son up in New Hampshire. And they had them for a while, though I think that they recently might have listed 1 or both of them for sale. If I recall, I saw them on Morph Market. But they were really cool snakes, especially the female. She was really cool striping. Everything that came out that did hatch out of those 5 babies was really wild looking. Really, really cool looking Borneos. And like I said, Charlie Murphy is such a great animal, so I'm thankful for that. I want to get more close-ups of her, but I just don't know how much she's going to tolerate. But you can see those eyes. She's still big. I can see her tail wagging again. She's being really, really patient because usually her mouth is open and her vent is open and she's swinging at me. But I kind of let her work that out of herself for a few minutes while I was out of the picture before I started filming. So we'll cut this short, but this is Ethyl. She's my oldest snake as far as I know. I believe my Burmese python's about 18 years old, somewhere in that realm, maybe 17, 18 years old. And then I believe she's about 20. More than likely she's an import given her age and, you know, just being a big old normal borneo. But you never really know. I might breed her one more time in her life, like I said, if I feel she's in the right shape to do it. And just see what she does, because I like Charlie Murphy. I might even put Charlie Murphy back to her someday. But we'll see. It all depends on her condition. I don't push them unless I feel good, and right now she's not good to go. Like I said, she's healthy, but she needs a little weight, and I would like to see her staying hydrated a little bit better too. So say goodbye, darling. Say goodbye to the folks at YouTube. We'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. I put up a couple of polls on the community page. I don't know where you see it, but people have been fairly active in participating in that. But just check that out and vote on that. That's for future stuff. I think at this point, it's pretty clear that you guys would prefer 2 videos a week. So I am going to move to that format soon, and then possibly mix in a third with the live videos here and there. Probably won't be 3 videos every week, of course, but we'll mix some in. Right? See, she's not bubbling up as much now. She's still agitated, but she's kind of calmed down a little bit. She's moving around more. The tail's still going, the huffing's still going, but she's over the real intense stuff. Surprised she hasn't struck. But like I said, I think she wants me. She doesn't want the phone, because the phone is right now is about 3 or 4 inches in front of her face. If it was my hand, she would definitely be going for it. So yeah, check that out. I'm rambling now, so we'll cut this short. Goodbye, Ethyl.